The scary truth about creatine side effects. What if the scariest thing about creatine side effects isn't the side effects themselves? Creatine is one of the most popular supplements on the planet. Millions of people use it to support muscle growth, strength, recovery, and performance. Yet, despite decades of research, stories about scary side effects continue to spread across the internet. Some people are afraid to try creatine because of what they've heard. Others start taking it and panic the moment something unexpected happens. But here's the truth. Many of the so-called scary side effects are either misunderstood, exaggerated, or caused by simple mistakes. Today, we're uncovering the scary truth about creatine side effects and the 8 things nobody explains properly. And trust me, the final one may be the most important of all. But before we begin, drop your name and the city you're watching from in the comments below. Alright, let's get started. Number 1. Dehydration can create problems. What if the side effect you're blaming on creatine isn't actually being caused by creatine at all? It happens more often than you might think. One of the ways creatine works is by helping your muscles store more water. That's part of what can support muscle performance, recovery, and that fuller muscle appearance many users notice. But there's a catch. When your muscles are holding more water, your body may need more fluids than before. And that's where problems can start. Some people begin taking creatine, and a few days later, they notice headaches. Others feel unusually tired, sluggish, or low on energy. Some experience dry mouth or simply feel off. Naturally, they assume the supplement is causing the issue, so they stop taking it. But here's the scary truth. In many cases, the real culprit isn't creatine, it's dehydration. A hydration problem can easily disguise itself as a supplement problem. Because the symptoms can look very similar, many people never realize they're overlooking the simplest solution. Instead of drinking more water, they blame the creatine. This is especially important for adults over 50, since hydration needs are often overlooked and the sensation of thirst may become less noticeable with age. The lesson here is simple. Before assuming creatine is causing headaches, fatigue, or sluggishness, take a closer look at your water intake. Your body may not be telling you to stop the supplement. It may simply be asking for more hydration, and surprisingly often, that small adjustment can make a big difference. Sometimes the scariest side effects aren't caused by creatine at all. They're caused by misunderstanding what your body actually needs. Number 2. People forget the basics. Have you ever seen someone spend a fortune on supplements while ignoring the habits that actually produce results? It happens all the time. Someone buys creatine and carefully measures every scoop. They research the perfect time to take it. They compare brands, read reviews, and watch countless videos. But at the same time, they're getting poor sleep, they're skipping workouts, they're not drinking enough water, and they're paying very little attention to their nutrition. The scary truth is that many people expect creatine to do the work that healthy habits are supposed to do. They treat the supplement as if it's the foundation, when in reality, it's only a support tool. Think of creatine as an assistant, not the main worker. It can help support strength, exercise performance, and recovery. But it cannot replace consistent movement. It cannot make up for a lack of sleep. It cannot overcome poor eating habits. And it certainly cannot create results without effort. The people who benefit most from creatine are usually the ones who already focus on the fundamentals. They exercise regularly, they prioritize recovery, they stay hydrated, they eat a balanced diet. Then creatine helps them get a little more from those healthy habits. That's the lesson many people learn too late. The supplement isn't the star of the show, the fundamentals are. And no matter how advanced a supplement may be, consistent exercise, quality sleep, proper hydration, and good nutrition will always have the biggest impact on your long-term health and fitness. Those basics never go out of style, and they still matter most. Number 3. The scale goes up and people panic. Have you ever stepped on the scale, seen the number go up, and instantly assumed something had gone wrong? If so, you're not alone. In fact, this is one of the most common reasons people become nervous after starting creatine. During the first few weeks, many users notice a small increase in body weight. And for someone who has been working hard to lose weight or maintain their health, that can feel alarming. The mind immediately jumps to the worst conclusion. I'm gaining fat. But here's what most people don't realize. The scale only tells you how much you weigh. It doesn't tell you why you weigh that amount. One of creatine's primary effects is helping muscles store more water. As your muscles become better hydrated, your body weight may increase slightly, even though your body fat hasn't changed at all. In other words, the number on the scale can go up while your body composition stays the same or even improves. That's why this effect is so misunderstood. The scary part isn't usually the weight gain itself. The scary part is misunderstanding what that weight gain actually means. Many people see a higher number, panic, and stop taking creatine before they ever experience the benefits. But when you understand what's happening, the picture becomes much less frightening. A few extra pounds on the scale don't automatically mean you've gained fat. Sometimes it simply means your muscles are storing more water and responding exactly the way they're supposed to. And that's a very different story than the scale might lead you to believe. Number 4. Bloating can feel worse than it is. Here's something that catches a lot of people completely off guard. A few days or weeks after starting creatine, they begin to feel a little different. Maybe their stomach feels fuller than usual. Maybe their clothes seem slightly tighter. Maybe they notice a mild bloated feeling and immediately start worrying. Naturally, the first thought is often, something must be wrong. But, in many cases, that's not the reality at all. One of the ways creatine works is by influencing how water is stored in the body, particularly inside muscle cells. As your body adjusts to these changes, some people temporarily notice a feeling of fullness or mild bloating. The key word here is temporary. For many users, this adjustment period passes as the body adapts. The challenge is that nobody warns them about it beforehand, so instead of viewing it as a normal adjustment, they assume the supplement is causing a serious problem. And that's where many people make a mistake. They stop taking creatine before giving their body enough time to adapt. The truth is that the sensation can feel uncomfortable, but it's often far less dramatic than people imagine. That doesn't mean you should ignore severe or persistent symptoms. It's always important to listen to your body. But understanding the difference between a temporary adjustment and a genuine problem can save a lot of unnecessary worry. Sometimes the scariest part isn't the bloating itself, it's not knowing whether what you're experiencing is normal, and in many cases, a little patience and understanding can make all the difference. Number 5. Digestive issues sometimes come from taking too much. Have you ever believed that if something works, then taking more of it must work even better? It's a natural assumption, but when it comes to creatine, it can lead to problems. One of the most common mistakes beginners make is thinking that larger doses will produce faster results. They see loading protocols online, hear stories from other users, or simply assume that doubling the amount will double the benefits. Unfortunately, the body doesn't always cooperate with that logic. Instead of getting faster results, some people end up dealing with bloating, stomach discomfort, nausea, cramping, or other digestive issues. Naturally, they blame the creatine. But here's the surprising truth. In many cases, the supplement isn't the real problem. The dose is. Your digestive system can only handle so much at one time, and overwhelming it often creates unnecessary discomfort without providing extra benefits. That's why one of the biggest lessons about creatine is that consistency matters far more than excess. Think of it like filling a glass with water. Pouring steadily works perfectly. Dumping the entire pitcher in at once just creates a mess. The same idea applies to creatine. A sensible daily serving taken consistently is often all that's needed to support results over time. The goal isn't to take as much as possible, the goal is to take enough, consistently, and let time do the rest. Sometimes the smartest strategy isn't doing more, it's simply avoiding the temptation to overdo it. Number 6. Social media creates unrealistic expectations. Now let's talk about a side effect that almost nobody mentions, disappointment. And surprisingly, it may be more common than any physical side effect. The reason has nothing to do with creatine itself, it has everything to do with expectations. Spend a few minutes on social media and you'll see dramatic before and after photos, unbelievable transformation stories, and headlines promising incredible results in record time. After seeing enough of those posts, it's easy to believe that creatine will instantly build muscle, provide endless energy, and completely transform your body within a few weeks. So people start taking it with sky-high expectations. Then, reality arrives. The changes aren't dramatic. Progress happens gradually. Strength improves little by little, recovery gets slightly better, workouts become a bit more productive. The benefits are real, but they're often much more subtle than people expect. That's when frustration begins. Some people conclude that creatine isn't working when in fact it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. The scary truth is that unrealistic expectations ruin more creatine experiences than actual side effects ever do. Creatine is a tool for supporting progress, not creating miracles. The people who get the most from it are usually the ones who appreciate small improvements and give those improvements time to add up. Because real progress rarely happens overnight. It happens through consistency, patience, and healthy habits repeated over and over again. And when you understand that, disappointment becomes much less likely and long-term success becomes much more achievable. Number 7. Not everyone responds the same way. Here's something supplement advertisements almost never tell you. Creatine doesn't affect everyone in exactly the same way, and honestly, that's completely normal. Some people start taking creatine and notice improvements in strength, workout performance, or recovery fairly quickly. Others experience more gradual changes that are harder to notice from day to day. That doesn't mean one person's creatine is working and another person's isn't. It simply means human bodies are different. Factors like genetics, age, diet, muscle mass, activity level, exercise habits, and even your natural creatine stores can influence how you respond. This is where things can become frustrating. Someone sees an incredible transformation online and assumes they'll experience the exact same results in the exact same amount of time. Then, a few weeks pass. Their progress looks different. Their results are slower, and they start wondering if something is wrong. But here's the truth. The scary part isn't creatine. The scary part is comparison. Comparing your journey to someone else's can create unrealistic expectations and unnecessary disappointment. What works dramatically for one person may work more subtly for another, and that's okay. The goal isn't to match someone else's results. The goal is to improve from where you started. So instead of comparing your progress to strangers on the internet, pay attention to your own improvements. Maybe you're recovering faster, maybe you're getting stronger, maybe your workouts feel better. Those changes count too, because when it comes to creatine and fitness in general, the most meaningful comparison is between who you were yesterday and who you're becoming today. Number 8. The real scary truth about creatine side effects. And finally, here's the biggest truth of all. The scariest thing about creatine side effects often isn't the side effects themselves, it's how misunderstood they are. Many people see the scale go up and immediately assume they're gaining fat, when in reality, their muscles may simply be holding more water. Others experience temporary bloating and convince themselves something is seriously wrong, even though their body may just be adjusting to a normal change in hydration. Some people feel tired or develop headaches and blame creatine, when the real issue is often not drinking enough water. And then, there are those who expect dramatic, life-changing transformations within a few weeks. When reality doesn't match the hype, disappointment takes over. The result? Some people avoid a potentially helpful supplement because they're afraid of problems that aren't as scary as they seem. Others use it with unrealistic expectations and end up frustrated when it doesn't perform miracles. The truth is far less dramatic than the internet often makes it sound. Creatine isn't magic. It isn't a miracle cure. And for most healthy adults, it isn't the dangerous substance that rumors and misinformation sometimes portray. It's simply a tool, a well-researched, widely studied tool that may help support strength, muscle function, exercise performance, and healthy aging when combined with the things that truly matter: regular movement, good nutrition, proper hydration, quality sleep, and patience. And perhaps that's the most important lesson of all. The more you understand creatine, the less scary it becomes. Because knowledge replaces fear. Realistic expectations replace confusion, and informed decisions replace internet myths, and that's where the real benefits begin. So, what's the scary truth about creatine side effects? For most people, the biggest dangers aren't the side effects themselves. They're the misunderstandings, myths, unrealistic expectations, and simple mistakes that surround the supplement. The more you understand what to expect, the easier it becomes to use creatine wisely and avoid unnecessary worry. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever experienced a side effect while taking creatine? And was it something that worried you at first? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more honest health and fitness content without the hype. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.